of Mark Halpern's focus group, Mark Halpern, the man himself, Republican strategist Ash Wright, and Turning Point USA contributor and attorney Erin Elmore. Panelists, welcome. Mark, I'll go to you first on this, okay? The mandates. Look, there's a lot of people who have been vaccinated that are, very in favor of this vaccination. It works for them, but they're also not pro-mandate. State could then mandate a vaccination status. But Psaki went on to defend the COVID vaccine mandate. She said, especially as the U.S. faces highly transmissible Omicron variant. My question to you is, if they are mandating vaccines, can't they mandate anything in the name of public health at that point?
It's a slippery slope, and it opens up the door to just crazy amounts of regulation and restriction on our freedoms. And I worry, I do agree with all of you that the Supreme Court is likely, and the law would say that this should be struck down. But the problem is these judges have to live in a real world where their kids go to school and they want to be members of country clubs and they want to go out to dinner. You never know what they're going to do. There are three factions on the court. There's a conservative side, there's a liberal side, and there's the middle, which is our Chief Justice Roberts, which is oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Not Sotomayor for sure. But anyway, my point is that there's these three factions on the court. Sorry, I'm on Mountain Time, so it's earlier here, and I'm not the best version of myself.
We'll give you a pass.
Yeah, I'm at very high altitude. But having said that, you don't know what they're going to do, and it's going to rely on this moderate faction of the court. You need two of the three of them to say, no, this is unconstitutional. Yeah. And right now, I just don't know if we're going to get everything that we need out of the Supreme Court.
Wow. So I want to show you Fauci's latest warning, Mark, to Americans regarding Christmas holiday gatherings. And even the Babylon Bee has gone crazy with their own little interpretations. Let's roll this clip.
If someone in your family isn't vaccinated, should you ask them not to show up?
Yes, I would do that. I mean, I think we're dealing with a serious enough situation right now that if there's an unvaccinated person, I would say, I'm very sorry, but not this time.
Washington, D.C., or New York City, where they all kind of are already vaccinated. What they don't really understand is the average American, like for me in Texas, I mean, half my family is vaccinated, the other half isn't vaccinated. Right. And when you start saying, hey, look, you need to separate out, that's what causes COVID fatigue.
See you on the other side of the break, panelists. Stick around. All right, still ahead. Run up to fate and his own health, but throw in the prospect of a showdown with Donald Trump. It appears to be tempting for Biden to resist. It comes as new Morning Consult Politico poll shows voters unhappy with what Biden is doing, with a 42% saying that Joe Biden has accomplished less than they expected. Let's bring back in our panel for this Mark Halpern, Ash Wright, and Erin Elmore. Erin, I cut you off before the break, so I want to get to you on this. Trump v. Biden Part 2. What do you think?
I'm exhausted just thinking about it, honestly. You know, Biden said a couple of funny words. He said fate intervenes, right? I don't think that's what intervened in our last election. Now, does anyone else, I think, in America? But having said that, if we have a free and fair election, if you're looking at Biden's approval ratings right now, there's absolutely no way he would win against almost anyone. The Democrat Party's in pretty bad shape. Who do they have in the wings waiting? Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg. All of these people are really unlikable and really not accomplishing anything in Washington. And we know that there's a great love for President Trump. There's a greater love, perhaps, for Governor Ron DeSantis. So honestly, let's bring it on, because we know that Biden's approval ratings are not doing very well, and neither is he.
Yeah. And Mark, this is actually perhaps the greatest contrast, well, at least in my lifetime, we've seen outside, maybe Jimmy Carter to Reagan, but you have the greatest contrast of Donald Trump to Joe Biden in the sense that they literally went in and reversed everything they could of President Trump's policy. I mean, everything. They cleaned house, Mark, and they wanted to do everything the opposite, and everybody is worse off. What do you look at his past campaign against Donald Trump? It was, look at how bad this guy is. He's mean, he's evil, he's orange, I don't like him. But now it's policy based, because Joe Biden can't go in like, look, guys, here was our policy, and gas is up, prices of everything are up, shelves are empty, continue the thing. But total COVID deaths, Erin, this is a big deal. So Joe Biden tweeted out prior to election, it's been 8 months, and we don't have the tweet because I didn't ask for it beforehand, so my producers don't have it, and that's on me. Prior to the election, Joe Biden tweeted out, says, Trump doesn't have a plan after 8 months. I have a plan, okay? And they blamed all the deaths. CNN had the ticker on the screen every single day, how many COVID deaths. Trump, 385,000. Biden, 420,000. So what plan is he supposed to have?
Well, his plan was to shut down the virus. That was his top line talker. Shut down the virus, shut down the virus. And now we see that that hasn't occurred at all. It's actually gotten far worse. And he also tweeted, I believe, a while ago, before he was even president, about Donald Trump. Any president that has had 200,000 deaths from COVID should no longer be president. What say you now, Joe Biden? That death toll should still be ticking on CNN. But of course, they're running covers for Joe Biden. Right. So it doesn't. So he has absolutely no plan, because this is a virus that can't be shut down. It's a respiratory illness. And as we've heard from actual medical professionals, that's not how they work. It's going to be a cold or a flu that's seasonal. Instead of testing people who are completely asymptomatic, we should let people be healthy, have natural immunity, boost in vaccine if they want. Stop talking about this like it's going to be shut down, Joe Biden, because it is not.
Yeah, and Mark, in the face of 40-year high inflation rates, I mean, surging to 6.8%, we just had the graph on the screen. I want to ask you, Jen Psaki goes out and tweets out that shelves stocked at 90%. Previously, they were only at 91%. But if you talk to anybody outside the Beltway, I don't know where that interview came from, Mark, but that's just not true. I live in Greenwich, Connecticut, and there are signs in every single aisle that says, due to supply chain, we don't have Gatorade. We don't have, there's the inflation chart too. So sorry, I got to leave it there, panel. Mark Halpern, Ash Wright, Erin Elmore, we appreciate you being on.
Merry Christmas.
All right, you too. Well, spreading